What's going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome to the Mucus-free Life Podcast. I am Professor Spira, and it's been a little while since we've had one of our epic podcasts where we talk about all things Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret, and the system that is and will be the salvation of humanity if we choose, if enough of us choose to go down this path. This is a way out. This is an actual path, is a wisdom teaching, a practice, and is one of those things that you have to study, you have to then practice and experience it to really get the full sense of what we're talking about. Because you hear a lot of people say that. That's one of those throwaway lines. People say, oh, this will change the world, and this can end world hunger, and this could stop all the wars. And, you know, and few people say that about whatever it is they're into, but we're serious. We're very, very serious, and we've yet to be proven wrong, because in order to be proven wrong, people actually have to do what it is we're talking about, practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. My Professor Arnold Ehret, and in front of me, I'm in a nostalgic mode today. I have a couple of the, this is the 1924 edition of Mucusless Diet, and this is rational fasting. We're going to be talking about rational fasting today, and yeah, the fasting topic is something that needs to be discussed more as I look out there into the Ethernet and see all of the different concepts and people doing things that can be questionable, and just, you know, we're losing people that don't need to be lost because of bad fasting advice. And so that's definitely something that I think we need to prioritize and discuss and share with others, and get people on the same page when it comes to an irrational, sane page when it comes to the art of fasting. So we will be talking about that today. But before we get into that, let me introduce to you my right-hand man and one of the greatest fasters of all time. Give it up for Brother Air. Everybody out there, we don't have a studio audience today for this podcast. What's going on, Brother Air? What's the news? What's been happening? Oh, I gotta unmute you. Sorry.
As cleaning your ass day in the neighborhood. Another cleaning your ass day in the neighborhood. Won't you clean your ass, please?
With me? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
one of those. It's the time, man, that we're dropping bombs today.
Yeah, we're trying not to get my channel shut down.
Let's go ahead and shut it down today.
Yeah, no. So what's been going on with you? What's the
trying to just enjoying good things coming. Gonna, be talking about fasting, intermittent fasting. I think that's how you labeled it. I want to talk about passing on generational constipation.
Yeah.
You did, because
super. Yeah.
Talking about passing on generational wealth?
Mm-hmm.
What about passing on generational health?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we're talking about a whole turnaround in thinking, in reality.
Right. Right.
We need a reality check. I want to discuss transition, transformation, and transcending.
Mm.
As we talk about fasting, the art
Mm-hmm.
of fasting, um, the intermittent fast, and I mean, I didn't call it an intermittent fast, but
Well, so
I
what?
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and I don't know if you want me to do this first or if you want to jump into that. Well,
Go on your schedule, how you want to do it, and I'm just gonna,
yeah, no, because you jump right in. I thought you were gonna talk
Well,
about playing on the
I
freeway.
am.
Yeah, you're
Ready
ready
to
to.
go.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
ready
ready
to
to
go.
go.
I'm
You
ready to
got your thing.
go and start. Offending people.
Yeah. So what I was gonna do was to get everybody on the same page was to read what is sort of examine the history of the concept of intermittent fasting since it's become such a big to do over the past 10, 15 years. It's just a term that has caught on for various reasons. Most of those reasons being certain people just promoted it very well using marketing techniques and things. And so, but they redefined the term. They never gave credit to where the term came from. They totally redefined it. So, what I want to do today is first establish a proper etymology, who invented the word, who invented the term, and then how did they define the term, and then go from there. Because for whatever reason, that's been lost. That's been lost in over the years. So let's
Like
get
a
in.
lot of things.
Right. So let me I want to share my screen. We'll get into this. So if we're talking about, so let's, Wikipedia is always pathetic. And so, and I'm going to put this out there. I'm not allowed to do it since I own something called Mucus-free Life LLC. I have a company where we promote Arnold Ehret's works. If somehow they find out, if I go and I try to edit these Wikipedia pages, they go nuts and they're, oh, you can't, you're this and that. So I put it out there into the community, since this is supposed to be a community, whatever. This is supposed to be the, community educational, sum of all the education of humanity, which it's not. But but they like to think so. It's very well I mean, that's a whole other
The
story.
platforms.
Yeah, it's very well it's very well censored. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
They have excellent people on the payroll or on the ego payroll or whatever that might not even be getting paid, but they love this power trip over here. So anyway,
I wish you could see my middle finger right now.
Yeah, right. And so but this gives us a sense of where people are in general, the general concept of this intermittent fasting. And I'll just read what's their primary definition. Intermittent fasting is any various meal timing schedules that cycle between voluntary fasting or reduced calorie intake and non-fasting over a given period. Methods of intermittent fasting include alternate day fasting, periodic fasting, such as the 5-2 diet, and daily time restricted eating. And then blah, blah, blah. Then you look at the history, and this is one of the worst written things on Wikipedia. They every once in a while there's something that's just so poorly written and supported and researched. So they say fasting is an ancient tradition having been practiced by many cultures and religions over the centuries. All right. Therapeutic intermittent fasts for the treatment of obesity have been investigated since at least 1915, with a renewed interest in the medical community in the 1960s after Bloom and his colleagues published an enthusiastic report. Intermittent fast or short-term starvation periods ranged from 1 to 14 days in these early studies. This enthusiasm penetrated lay magazines, which prompted researchers and clinicians to caution about the use of intermittent fast without medical monitoring. So all this is wrong. There's no, okay, who 1915? That's wrong. Who came up with the term? When is the record of the first time that the term was written down in the English language? That's called etymology. It's not represented here, but what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to show you the oldest known instance of this term being written down and published in the English language. And then somebody that has no stake in Arnold Ehret can go on here and please update this ridiculous history, because this is stupid. Then you go to some of these other histories, and I won't get into all this, but this sort of highlights a few of the people. This Michael O'Donnell two meal, I guess, a day plan thing that got popular in 2007, and they kind of go over, it's when I talk about over the past 15 years or 10 years, this is what I mean when I'm saying, somebody promoted this. They created marketing campaigns and concepts that then lifted this intermittent fasting concept up to the point where it's become part of just mainstream conversation, where it's like, oh yeah, you intermittent fast. It's like, yeah, but not the definition that you do, not the way you think. That's not what we do. And so let's check out rational fasting. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to read it out of, this is the 1926 edition. The rational fasting was first published in 1910. So keep that in mind. Keep 1910 in mind. So let me read. This isn't in this. This is in our version of it, and I'm just going to read a paragraph that I wrote. So this is in the introduction to the rational fasting. This I think this 2014 is when I first published this. It said there is no greater task within. And let me see. Hold on. I'll get a little closer so you can see. There is no greater task within, this is in a section called Fasting as an Art Form. There is no greater task within the fasting arts than the ability to eloquently break one's fast. Fasting too long for your physiological condition only to uncontrollably break it with mucus-forming foods is futile and defeats the purpose of your fast. This is one reason Ehret emphasized, quote, gradual change toward cleansing mucus-free foods combined with a series of short intermittent fasts for newcomers to fasting and the mucusless diet. As you gain experience with short-term fasting, you will learn how to maintain control, total control, whenever you begin or break a fast of any length. So this is just a little Professor Spira intro. So let's get to the section of rational fasting. This is a subsection called fasting when used in connection with the Mucusless Diet Healing System. In the, that's what it's called here too. And so we go down to the third paragraph. Or I'll read a little bit before that. I will read, let me just read this whole section because this is like super important. As I have stated before, I am no longer in favor of long fast. In fact, it may become criminal to let a patient fast for 30 or 40 days on water, contracting the avenues of circulation, which are continually filling up more and more with mucus and by dangerous old drugs and poisons, and at the same time, rotten blood from his or her old stock. In fact, actually starving from necessary vital food elements. No one can stand a fast of that kind without disadvantage or without harming vitality. If fasting is to be used at all, then start at first with the non-breakfast plan, then follow with the 24-hour fast for a while, then gradually increase up to 3, 4, or 5-day fast or fast, eating between fast for 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, a mucusless diet combined individually as an elimination adjustment, and at the same time supplying and rebuilding the body continually with and by the best elements contained in and found only in mucusless foods. And now here is the big paragraph here. Through such intermittent fast, the blood is gradually improved, regenerated, can more easily stand the poisons and waste, and is able at the same time to dissolve and eliminate disease deposits from the deepest tissues of the body, deposits that no doctor ever dreamed existed and that no other method of healing has ever discovered or can remove. This then is the Mucusless Diet Healing System, with fasting as an essential part of it. So there you go. So this is the first time that the word intermittent fast, as far as we know, unless somebody goes and finds some other book that it's in, this is the oldest instance of it being written in the English language. And this is the definition of it, where you're interspersing mucus-free eating, short periods of fasting, short periods generally of liquid fasting, as we talked about a little later, fasting drinks. So Ehret was not a favor of dry fasting or advocating water fasting. He was generally advocating juice fasting for a number of various reasons that we can talk about, but you should already know. So this is huge here. 24-hour fast, or and increasing those days up 3, 4, 5 days, and then eating in between for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, or 4 day, a mucusless diet, and then going back to all juice. That's intermittent fasting, not this stuff that they do, not this I eat once, I eat once a day, or I'm fasting 18 hours and I have my, all this ketogenic nonsense that's come out. That's not it. This is intermittent fasting. And I rarely know, I don't know anybody besides Brother Ehret that's actually practiced this, that I just personally know and have heard them talk about their practice and what they do, because generally people love the extremes. And so they want to be perfect. They want to, if they're doing water, I'm 100% water, 40 days, 50 days, nothing else. And if I did anything else, I failed. Or I 100% juice for however long. If it's not fruit juice, if I deviate in any kind of way, I failed. And then, or 100%, fruit. This is my fruit fast. If I deviate and change anything, it's got to be one thing the whole way. And when you think like that, you're totally missing the point of systematic. As he said here, there's you reset. It's like resetting your body. You allow the body. We talked in the book club the other day about the tension and release. This intermittent fasting approach allows you to have tension and release on your whole body, which is what enables the elimination in the first place. It enables the deeper elimination. So you get deeper and deeper and deeper in a safe and rational way. And so this is what I've actually been doing for the past 6 weeks. So for the past 6 weeks, I've been doing I'm still working on a way to name it, but it'd be like high level intermittent fasting, like this, except a little more extended. So I will go a week where I'm a week on fruit juice, and then maybe have a day where I have a fruit meal. So I have pineapple for a day, and then I'll have maybe another week or two on just juice, or maybe one. Then somewhere in there, I'll have a vegetable juice. Then I'm back to all fruit juice, and then 7, 8, 10 days go by, and maybe I have some blackberries. Then I'm back to juice again. And that is so. For if I was to just call that a fast, and this is to try to get you to see the nuance of this type of methodology. If I was just to call that a fast, and people would, no, you didn't, you're not fasting, you ate some food. Okay, all right, that's okay. Then what should I call it? I mean, I could just say I've been 100% mucus free for the past 6 weeks, but you can be 100% mucus free and eating salads and eating big meals and baked banana surprises, and you can be mucus free eating a lot of food. I'm not doing any of that. I'm mostly juice,
and you can still call that the transition.
It's the transition. I mean, that's really what it's all about. That's what it is. And so I wanted to bring this forward, and then we'll get Brother Ehrt's feedback on this concept. I know there's certain concepts that are in the book that Brother Ehret didn't necessarily think about it that way, and so these concepts now that things, mucus lean and intermittent fasting and some of these things that are in the book, but that if it doesn't catch on to you as a catchphrase, then there's a number of different things in there that I might not use as a catchphrase or think about, but somebody else comes and says, hey, Ehret said this. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he did say that, and I just didn't think about it that way. So that happens with these things, but I find it a very instructive and useful way to think about the transition, and when you want to kick it up a notch and do something different. So one of the benefits of using this systematic transitional methodology is you are hitting your body, giving your body different looks, as they would say in sports. Give them a different look. You're hitting it from a different angle, and that helps with the elimination. When you're just doing one thing all the time without any kind of shift. And that's what I see with some of the people that try to do really long 100% fruit, like raw fruit fast with no transition. They don't know anything about transition, so they don't know how to shift. They don't know that maybe if you ate fruit for 10 days, then you had a green juice, that could totally shift your whole system, and all of a sudden you're spitting out pounds of mucus out of your mouth.
Well, they think that that their transition is the modality that they were doing. Like if they were doing the 80-10-10, then they do this. They think that they've transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's like they believe that is the transition. That because how many times do you talk to people, and they all the time will say what they've done. If you tell them about some real basic transition stuff, they think they're there.
Right.
They're new to the Mucusless diet though.
Right.
But they've done enough. Oh, I was raw food for 5 years. I was you know what I mean? I see those people who claim to be into something else before they get to the Mucusless diet. You got to go back to step 1, practicing the Mucusless diet in transition. Don't think you're so clean and you oh, I don't have to. I did this. I was raw food. I was a fruitarian for 6 years.
Right. Yeah. No, there's this ego, this really profound egoic problem. It's a pathological situation within
It kills.
Kills people. Yes, that's true. In the raw foods, fruitarian communities, and incredibly problematic. And there was someone here. It just says Facebook user on my end, so I don't know who's that. So we'll get to that in a second in this comment. But yeah, when you're talking about dogma, that's the dogma, that it has to be one, that it's all or nothing. Like every it's all water, or it's nothing, or all fruit juice, or all this, or all mucusless, because you never hear us say that. All anything, all anything is not being systematic, is not dealing with the system.
I dealt with when I was putting together things inside of the transition. I dealt with 1 day fast for years.
Yeah.
1 day a week. 1 day a week fast, and 1 day a week of mucuslessness for years.
Yeah.
Every now and then I slip in 3 days, go for it, for 3 days. But I'm talking about for years.
And this is, and y'all should write this down. Like, listen to that, what he just said. That's very important. That's very important. That's more important for you to know that he did that than it is to know he did a year-long fast, or he did a 40-day dry fast. This is more important.
Yeah, that for years. I'm talking 20 years of that kind of behavior. Yeah, man. I mean, and you see so much benefits when you are turtle crawling like that. Just it almost gives your body, like when you're trying to move so fast. I want to do raw fast. I want to do fruit. You miss out the physiological blueprints that's going on, that's making up inside. You miss out the physiological things that's going on with you, that you can notice when you slow and you're doing little things like that. Oh, okay, I did 1 day a week of fasting, and I was trying to do dry fasting for 1 day. I started it off like that, okay, and I failed. The end of the night, I drink juice, and there you go. But I got it together. I ended up getting that part together, but it did take me some time, and I wasn't rushing it. I had all the time in the world to get it together, man. But through that time, I'm saying, you notice little things that's happening with the body. It could be just blemishes on the face, or just any little things that you can know. You want to try to critique everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Critique everything that's going on with you, man, from the tear ducts. I mean, I was critiquing everything. And I wish I would have had that notebook. My sister threw out everything when she sold the house that we grew up in. And I was really I really was writing down a lot of things. I have to give credit to Jerry Higgins for making me do that. Because he was real. Some people might know him as was it Jeremiah Kamau? He wrote a book called Holy Lockdown. He lives in the Atlanta area, but he was a stickler for me to really write things down like that. If it wasn't nothing but a couple of sentences of how I was feeling that day, and yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, real basic transition goes a long, long way.
Yeah. And this is
long way.
And it's interesting to me to see like that there's with some of the responses that come in, like when you start talking about this, it's like literally there's a blockage in the mentality to be able to get to that, to get to the nuanced practice of the system,
because of what they have not been exposed to with other modalities. They get to this system and it is what it is, but the other folks is saying do this. Just do this. They don't have no transitioner. They just do this. Start drinking grapefruit juice right now. Start, you know what I mean? Start, I mean, their things are set, and that's why they don't last. See, we're talking about something that is over. We're talking about a system that was developed over 100 years ago. We're still talking about it.
Right.
80-10-10. We're not even talking about that. The keto, that's on its way out.
Right. Yeah.
How's
Atkins doing?
Yeah.
Say hi to Atkins for me.
Yeah. May you rest in pieces. You know. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you have to be very patient. We say that all the time, and very basic. And the thing is stop wanting to see everything overnight happen. You know? Like I say, man, we don't even know too many people, myself and Spira, that's been doing this thing 10 years.
Right.
You know, and you know, we make that statement like, talk to us in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, and then we might take you seriously that you are into this.
Right.
We've seen folks on the cups of getting there. And
Like almost there.
And then they're raw food. I mean, they're raw meat eaters.
Right.
All of us, huh? Be like,
right.
You know, so not that we are trying to discourage. I think now we have an inner circle that is gonna hang.
Mm-hmm.
It took us
20 years.
plenty inner circles. You know.
Right.
We went through plenty inner circles to get to this, and I think this is the inner circle that is going to get a lot of work and reality change in terms of the whole Ehret village reality.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got something now, and so yeah, man. I mean, it's about being very patient. Just, you know, I still make the statement about like not putting sugar on my Kellogg cornflakes was just epic for me.
Yeah. It's like, celebrate the small wins.
Small wins. Like,
celebrate the small wins.
Man, I was just so elated. Oh man, like, wow, like, you know, like, I don't have to put sugar on this. I don't have, you know, things like that. Little things. The fasting, the real heavy fasting, didn't come into the 20th year.
Right. Yeah.
For me,
Right.
And that's not to say somebody's physiology can't do things. You know what I mean? I'm not putting myself up as this template for the correct way. Like you have to do everything the way I did it. No, I'm not.
No.
That's not what I'm saying. But if there's one thing that I've learned is patience. Is just be patient and be very consistent. That's the key.
Yeah.
If you want to know something, you got to be consistent. If you want to know something, because people talk out the sides of their mouth, but if you really want to know something, you have to do something very consistently and over a long period of time. So
yeah. So let's so I wanted to kind of read this comment, because this is one of these where they're to address this sort of thing. It's a Facebook user, because they have that the names don't come over from Facebook.
Asking now.
Well, it's not a question. No, this is somebody that posted a comment on Facebook.
Oh,
to the live.
Oh,
so they say, in response to what we're talking about.
Okay.
So it said, I did a 38-day water fast when I was 38 years old from Joshua Instruction, and it was an amazing, inevitable spiritual experience as I woke up singing. I think there can be people for whom it's good as they are ready and have their body purified before, who don't. So I guess it's too long to show the whole thing. I don't know if there's a way to, I guess not. So let's see. The other part of it says, I think there are going to be people for whom it's good as they're ready and have their bodies purified before, who don't need dogmas because they know themselves and what they need. Now I always say that, yeah, I mean, you do what you want to do. What happens is you get folks that's on here that vigorously promote before they've even done anything. They'll be promoting as a way to kind of reinforce their own whatever it is they're trying to do. And then when it doesn't work, they try to blame Arnold Ehret, or they try to blame fruit, or they try to blame fasting. And that's the problem. So you do whatever you want. And if it's like, because what we're saying is, I mean, you do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else.
He gave himself away, or she did, by saying the word purify. After that, I was done. After somebody used up words, I know you don't know what you're talking about. Read what she said. Look at how she played it. Does that sound like somebody who
and have their body purified before?
Yeah, right there. Okay. Have their body like well, why are you doing this then if you're so purified? What would you have to do?
Well, the spiritual experience is what is
all right. There. Purified one. Like to say, this is why we're talking about folks. They don't know nothing, man, because they talk like this, and they don't know nothing. So I mean, if you're gonna continue answering questions, just go to the next question, because that.
Well, that wasn't a question. I wanted to address that because it's a common.
I know.
It's a common. You have zero tolerance for it. I have a little more tolerance than you. I can address it in a somewhat academic fashion.
Did you address it? Did you address it?
I mean, not really, but
go ahead and address it then. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, my point is just that people do whatever. That's what I'm saying. Do whatever you want to do. When it falls apart, in however many years or whatever, don't blame fasting. Don't blame, because that's all. I'm just a voice of reason and warning for folks that want to go down these paths, because we ain't gonna get into it, but there's somebody that we know that went down a water fasting path that didn't make it, and there was no reason that should have happened that way, other than they got caught up in this so-called dogma that you're talking, that is the water fasting dogma of which you speak, or at least that I interpret you speak, and so that's why we're saying, do what you want to do, but be warned and know that when you get to a point of no return in some of these cleanses or whatever you want to call them, fasting periods, and you do some of this extended stuff and you don't know what you're doing, and we always say, because it's deceptive, you can feel amazing, and that's why people get addicted to irrational fasting. We'll put it like that. People get addicted to that until they mess themselves up to the point where they can't get out of bed, or they can't walk, or they can't, because they've brought every latent disease that you could have dealt with over the next 20, 30, 40 years. You could have just your body would have pinpointed every latent disease in your body and would have gotten rid of it without incident. Now you bring it all upon you at one time. And some people, when that happens, it's fatal. You can't make it. Some people, it's not fatal, but you're bedridden for a period of time, or you're out of it, or whatever. You're hospital bound. And so there's so much of that could be alleviated with just a little. Look at how little this book, like the original.
Well,
this could save
your next book, Spira, is Irrational Fasting. That's your next.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of that out there, and then that's the problem. That's why my thing had always been to talk about at least my own fasting sparingly, to not try, like, where, if I start talking about what I'm doing, and then people that aren't ready for that haven't been doing this for 21 years, then they try to just focus on that part, focused on the fasting part, and be like, oh wow, he just did 6 weeks of fasting, or even the intermittent fast. Oh, he did it like that. He ate once a week for, and then somebody try to do that before it's their time, without any serious transition, without really understanding how the transition works in the body. Sometimes you are called to do, if you're one of those people that the principles, the transition, and you're called, and your body calls you to do a longer fast a little earlier, then you do what you need to do, but understand that you're on your own. Don't blame, like when I did long fast early in my transition, but if I would have fallen on my face, I wasn't going to be getting on MySpace. There was none of this yet. I wouldn't have got on MySpace cussing about Arnold Ehret and cussing about the Mucusless Diet. Like, I just did a 6-month juice fast and I got sick and now I'm bedridden. Arnold Ehret, boo. It's like, no, he never said to do none of that. I was on my own.
We've had plenty of that, of attacks from people who's tried to practice the Mucusless diet and have gotten really ill because they would skip over the transition, and just off the rip, everybody thinks about just eating fruit. They want to just eat fruit, and they start just eating fruit. How did I go a year with just eating fruit? What happened was I was eating fruit for 2 or 3 days and just had a taste for, it was watermelon happening at the time, peaches and bananas and watermelon. And I noticed myself eating this. 2 days went by, 3 days. I was like, man, this is hip. And I started there. I just followed my physiology. I might have not been ready for just fruit, but I didn't think I was gonna hurt myself. And I put it into motion, uh, and went a year with just fruit. Didn't plan on doing that. Just got a hold of some good watermelon and peaches and bananas, and just was going off on them for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, let me keep this going. And so yeah, it was like, next thing I know, I looked at a year, and that was, when you go down that kind of path, now you critiquing your body. Spira came along right then, because I just got out of that. I just kind of and I had big knots on my chin.
Well, that's when I met you, because I remember that. Yeah, when you had them nodules on the chin. And I used to be like, that's weird, but I don't know what. Like, I just thought it was something you were born with, or something, like just some welts or something.
That was coming from, you talking about, we know now.
Yeah.
We really know now.
Right.
But I mean, I knew then that, okay, my body's eliminating like this. And the place where my body, where I don't know, you have a specific place where you eliminate. My spot was my chin, my beard.
Mm.
That's where I would be eliminating at. And I did.
And it's like, and things that people don't understand about, like, the long path is you could just tell a whole story about the different eliminations that come up at different points in your transition.
Yeah.
Where it's just, over time, as I was thinking about, because I went through some years of I had this elimination on my hands, like up under. It was like just this elimination that was just weird, but it's totally gone now. But it took a couple years of and I couldn't just fast it away. It was chronic. It was like chronic. It didn't hurt really. There was a period, I guess it did, but but that's one of many. That's part of the. But those are the kinds of stories that you'll have. That's how we know.
And you didn't run to the doctor.
No.
Say, hey, take a look.
Yeah. I didn't get some cream to put on it or something like that. I just
take a look. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they just said I had some kind of whatever eczema, dermatology. They had give me some name or something, and they gave me a cream for it. And I just like, no, I know sooner or later it's gonna be eliminated, and it might pop up back again, but it's. I know what it is. Like, I understand.
And watching Spira's transition was education for me to just watch. And that was like, wow, look at this. Now look at this. And it was in his transition, like everybody's, I think, but this was somebody that I could watch very closely. We were together all the time. So it was emotionally, spiritually, physiologically. I was watching everything, man. And he was going through it, man. He was, and he was trying to deal with academia. And, that's more than a notion to have a conversation with Vic one night and then go deal with Phil DeGreg and all the zombies up at the conservatory. You talking about a shift. And I mean, his professors came to me and said, look, I don't know how to get through to this cat. What is, you know, and they were thinking that I was Daishan Vic's kind of
Right.
right-hand man or drummer in the healing system. They
Right.
thought
Right.
that was me. And, you know, which, I mean, through the years, I've just gotten used to that.
Right. Right.
You know, and so not until we did the Children of the Sun concert that they left him alone. They just, oh, okay. We
Yeah. Right.
we get it now. You know, it's like he's on another level of existence. He, you know, let him alone. They, you know, who was the head of what was his name? The saxophone player.
Well, Rick Van Mater.
Van Mater. Van Mater was he just gave us the run of the place. You know,
Right.
and I just remember him so he's just so excited and so like, oh man, like, you know, and so everything got cool. But up until then, it was shaky. You know, it was just not feeling. I mean, like having special meetings about what are we gonna do.
Yeah.
About
No, I
this
mean,
cat.
it's
You know, he's turning in his boards, and you know, and we, you know, like we don't. And it wasn't so much his plan; it was just he wasn't acting right. Just wasn't acting right. You know,
right.
that doesn't mean he wasn't a good. You know, well, he came to my class with a gas mask on. Well,
Yeah.
this was before they tried to force people to wear masks.
Yeah.
He was wearing a mask.
Yeah. Because what happened? Yeah. So when I first really started cleaning myself up in my nose, my sense of smell just became like supernatural. I could smell everything, and I
Man.
started smelling that stench, that meat eater stench that could never perceive it before. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm doing a little fast and I'm cleaning myself up a little bit. And man, like I would get a whiff of people nearby, and it was just horrendous. It just would make me sick to my stomach just smelling this death stench that was coming off of people. And so I started, well, I had put on a face mask. I'd walk around school wearing a face mask. Because the only person that did that back then, that was like some Michael Jackson thing, you know.
He's on the big bandstand, you know.
Yeah, I'd take it down and play and put it back up, and people are like, "What's wrong with him?" And I just like, man, my sense of smell is really, really acute.
Yeah.
And they just look at me funny, like, "What are you talking about?" You know, or I walk around the halls eating, you know, just eating celery and
yeah, man,
heads of lettuce and
lettuce, yeah. Fields came to me, said he's eating like big heads of lettuce.
Yeah.
I was like, look, man, we play his boards at rehearsal. So, I mean, like he brings his boards, we play these tunes. These tunes are 50 years old, you know. We play them tunes. And it's like, what's so, I mean, he's like, and he's looking at me like, y'all play them tunes? Like I said, they thought I was Daishan.
Right.
That's what Mark Fields thought. Jim Anderson actually thought that at one point. You know, it's like, I guess, you know, even to us, we all look alike.
Right.
You know, so it was a transition, you know, just watching his transition and making the move to Columbus, you know, watching that transition. And then we did the jam session, and he would come down once. What was that? Once a month, I think. Yeah. And you know, so watching all that, and then he was up there dealing with, dealing with his doctoral and dealing with that whole another another city.
Yeah.
And so it's just watching all this stuff, man, and you kind of drudge along, and you have a certain quietness, like solitude that kills people.
Yeah.
People hate that, man. They hate that part of this, of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And but that was why we started the meetups and the book clubs and the this and the that, and it was like we did, now we don't have
Yeah. I mean that.
battle
Well,
no
yeah. I mean, for me, that was like if there was a superpower that I had, it'd have been that, probably, because I just noticed how most people really can't handle that. Like, they can't, because most people, I mean, they're living with somebody, or they're around people
They're
at
around
some
people.
point, and I could go really long periods of time without any human contact and was fine, and needed to do that sometimes to get to where I was trying to get
And
physiologically.
he was busting.
Mm-hmm.
So he was busting. He was going for the doctoral. He was going through this transition. He had grown his second head of locks, right?
So I cut on. It was like, was that 2010 or 2011 is when I cut. So I did, yeah. So I grew them from 2002 to 2011, cut them, and then so I cut my hair once in the past 21 years.
Yeah. So he's working on his second head of locks, which I never thought about it until he started. He did that, and then I started talking to Tikor and people who had locks, Zion and them, and they, like, people cut their locks all the time. I was like, wow. I just never. I mean, I've never cut mine, but I just never knew people did that, like cut their locks. And this is their third set. This is their fourth set of locks.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow. I thought, they take all that time to grow them, and so yeah, man. Transition comes in many forms. Comes in many forms, man. And you got to be willing to play it out rationally in terms of what to do when your body's going through these changes, man. I mean,
Right.
Don't panic. That's the worst thing you can do, is panic.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's the whole. That's why I say it's an art form. You think and encourage people to. It's like, and it's I don't necessarily see it changing. I don't know what it's turning into now, but there's always been this kind of this athlete mentality, or desire, the desire to have like the athletic body, and there's a lot of those influencers that are ripped, and they're and they promote whatever it is that they promote from that perspective. But I've always tried to promote art. Like, if you're gonna study something, like, go watch some art documentaries, study the lives of artists, study the lives of famous musicians, like, learn about that mentality.
Well, that's the shift that we want to talk about today. Is that's where mucus-free life is shifting to this art thing really heavy, like because we're gonna do the music.
Right.
We're in this music mode now. We're in this.
And we're transitioning to the music mode.
Yeah, we're transitioning to the music mode. But it's like, is it just music? No, it's art.
Right.
It's just all forms of art.
Yeah.
Now we're going into that world. We've done this, we had quite success with, we're happy with what's happening with the practice of the mucusless diet. Who is it getting to, and its popularity, and people know about it, and we're happy with that. More. I mean, just now, we put the music on the back burner because we're musicians. So we kind of put that on the back burner, and we did. I mean, we would do for special projects, we would do little things, but for our music project is coming to a city near you in 2024. For real.
Yeah.
Like, so that's gonna be a beautiful piece, man, because we don't just come and play music, and this whole hey, look at us play,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we want to create an experience that's a whole different thing that hasn't been done before. Just a whole kind of situation.
We're gonna do it. Why? Because we do what we say we're gonna do. We never doubt. We never doubt. If we can have the idea and it's rational, we never doubt that we can't pull it off.
Right.
There are doubters out there.
Oh yeah.
who doubt, but we always pull it off. We always pull it off, and the support and the universe, that comes down to what I want to talk about: wage slaves. We don't know any wage slaves that have been a successful practitioner. The folks that I know are not wage slaves. Through our history of knowing the people that we've taken very seriously, they all do their thing.
So explain that. Why do you think that is, and what's that mean? So first, define wage slave, just in case there's somebody that doesn't know the vernacular.
Folks who are locked in to waking up at 7 o'clock, getting on that job, doing those same predictable things every day, waiting on that check every week. Wage slave, right? Okay, so what you said, why is that about the folks? Is because you see, once you're serious about practicing the mucusless diet, your body sees that it can't function unless it's free to breathe. It can't, that becomes constipation and obstruction. That job.
Right.
That's constipation. It's obstruction. You can't have that.
Because it requires, and that's what we say, and people don't understand, it requires eating mucus at least, but often pus and mucus, to be able to tolerate those activities.
It's like Vic used to say, man, you can't be. He used to say, man, you have these crazies dealing with these crazy. He went to a social service agency and put the book down on the table.
Yeah.
Put the book on the table and told the lady, because he was like, like, I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to get money and anything they was gonna give him.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I need to be doing this.
Right.
And he told her, he said, I can't have no crazies. You know, telling me, and in my ear telling me all this stuff. And she just kind of looked at him and looked at the book and looked at him and ended up giving him
wasn't it disability or
disability and food stamps. He
right.
told him, I can't be around crazies. To do what he said, I'm trying to get myself together. Like, this is what I'm practicing right here, this book. And she looked and, there's Mucusless Diet. And so the thing is that over the years now, and I got some years in where I've seen the serious people can't have that kind of obstruction if you want the healing part, because it's called a healing system. If you want to heal yourself, you can't be around these psychopaths. The only psychopaths that get any kind of attention is your family. I mean, really. I mean, you can't replace them. So, and that becomes very limited. And I know people are like, damn, brother Ehret, you just talking about my family. But I'm talking about all of our family. I'm talking about how the practice of this is very, very different than anything that's came up in your culture and your family culture. This is something, and you have to be free to let the universe take you through this, and the universe will provide. That's the hard part that people don't get. They think we say that because we say that all the time about move out the way and let the universe. They think that's just some little catchphrase that we're saying, but no. We're telling you that this is the way it works. We've seen it. Me and Spira have seen the universe work in ways that we just couldn't even imagine. But what? We have the faith that it's gonna be all right. Whatever it is we get into, we be like going down that rabbit hole.
Right.
We don't know. We just going down the rabbit like, man, this is. But we know that we're going to be all right. That's because we done eliminated fear. It's not too many things that we're afraid of. When and then there's some people, most of the time when people have these jobs, most of the time they're not connected to them other than money. They don't. They could care less about what they produce or what they, what the business is. They could care. They don't have no connection to that.
Yeah.
Now, every now and then, here comes the person who says, "Well, I love my job."
Right. Every once in a while. Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll get. Well, I love.
Like my family members.
I love what I do. I love what I do.
Love,
but see,
like my aunt, she loves.
But see, they wasn't practicing the Mucusless Diet. They wasn't trying to heal themselves. They wasn't trying to get all this obstruction out of their way. See,
So another angle to hit it, which would be more of the, I guess like the, more of the self-help kind of way, is to say you should strive in life to do what it is you were supposed to do here. Do something you're passionate about, something that resonates with you. And you have to go and you have to figure it out. Like you can't be scared to be like,
there's something that you do that everybody wants, or people will pay for. There's something that you do
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's something that you do. There's something that he does. There's something that she does that people will compensate you for. But the thing is that they've been tricked into
I mean, it's like this
whole
is
oppressor thing. It's like,
I mean,
work
because
for the oppressor. We love you. We'll give you 30 years and we'll take care of you and we'll take your money and we'll put it in a trust and and we'll save you some for retirement and then we'll put some back into buying you a coffin and we'll buy you a tombstone and we'll put your name on it and we'll take that money out before you even see it. And it's just so organized and life couldn't be no better. You see, we start believing that.
right.
What we say, from generation to generation to generation, we believe the liars. We believe the thieves. We believe the murderers. We believe
and the rapist, yes,
and the rapists, and we believed.
yeah.
And so it's almost like people, and so that part goes into another part of transitioning that I wanted to, talk about in terms of the same way that you prepare for your grave. Why not prepare for your transition? Why not put that time and put these efforts that we're doing here with the practice of the Mucusless Diet into transitioning to another realm painlessly? See, we prepare by buying coffins. See, we prepare by buying tombstones to write our names on.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's put this energy and let's put this thought and our whole act of physiology. Let's make it count. Let's go out painlessly. You did, and I know I know cats are tired of hearing me say transition away from eating before you lose your breath. Transition away from eating before you lose your breath. See, you see what I'm saying? Now, does that make sense? Because what happens the other way that we've been living is you lose your breath because what? You didn't stop eating. So sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with, nature's going to deal with you. Nature's going to force fast. All right, so you're going to stop eating today. Today you will stop eating, but you will actually lose your life. And see what I'm saying is, if we understand that, see, and no other live it other than the Mucusless Diet is breaking it down, saying Ehret had the middle, had the beginning, the middle. Now we got the end. We're coming to you with a complete program. This is a system. This is a system. And believe me, I'm one that can talk about immortality better than most. So I believe in immortality. So I'm not like pushing death. But the reality of it is that we're going, a lot of us are going to have to deal with it. So why not transition painlessly? Prepare for that. The same way you prepare for that coffin. And you pay the funeral home all this money 40 years before you pass.
What do you say? Generational what?
Generational. They pass on generational constipation. They keep talking about passing on generational wealth. Oh, and that's a successful book. Man, look, there is no Brinks truck ever following a hearse to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Right? So we so backwards. We so backwards in our and how we're trying to survive around these psychopaths.
You missed the.
No, go ahead.
Well, you had said instead of generational wealth, let's strive for generational
health. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we are thinking we have to be very clear that we are on the other side of this thing. We're not you. We got to stop trying to, and this is another part of working in these places. When you have to put on that little fake smile and deal with a bunch of nuts. You did?
Yeah. Because a lot of this stuff, it's an energy. It's about energy. It's an energy
constipation. Thing. That's a worse form of constipation. Mm-hmm. When you a third of your day, you constipated. A third of your day, you constipated. You're sitting up there like, oh, okay,
Well, I'd say all day and night. You talk about these.
Well, I'm saying a third of the day is chronic. Then you think when you're off, you're free. Okay, I can go home and do me an enema. Okay, I hope you do. There's practitioners that do. I know they don't like hearing this about those jobs, but man, you talking about chronic constipation getting in the way of healing. There is something you can do to make even more money. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
We this fear, man, it's this fear factor.
Yeah.
Fear factor with our oppressors, man. We just, we love, we say madly in love with Big Brother at this point. We're madly in love.
Well, yeah, this is the era of the happy slave. I mean, some of the happiest slaves in history in this era.
We just living the vida loca. It's like, oh, we got the cell phones and the technology is just made us so, we got $1,500 phones on our hip, and look at this. And then we got a carrying case by Gucci. And we're just as sick and constipated and pathetic as we ever have been. And we have to start making it very noticeable to those who are hell bent on destroying themselves and trying to destroy us. We gotta let them know, man. I mean, this is something that we have to be more vocal now. Like, We go to the, you know how we go to the big festivals, and they had the Jesus cats out there with the bullhorns.
Mm-hmm.
We might.
Yeah, well, no, that's the direction.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
might have
going
to
because
go.
the evangelical
Yes.
period. We're moving into the evangelical period of the Mucusless Diet Healing System,
Yeah, man.
Mucus-free life. Is
Like,
because it's
what side
time.
are you on? What side are
It's
you on?
it's time to really put it out there and let because
Do you
wake
really?
up who can be woken up.
Do you really want a new reality?
Yeah. I mean, most don't. Not really.
Right. So
They enjoy complaining about it and not doing anything.
not doing
To
anything.
change anything. They have a lot of fun, putting it out. Oh,
And
Biden and
they
this
love
and
they
Trump
love
and
to
them
keep
and
working. They love to keep working. And
they are rather
and work themselves into the ground, and then
they rather like organize, put that organized energy. We're gonna we're living wage. We demand that you give us a living wage, and we won't work until you give us a little bit more money.
Vote for me. What was it?
Yeah.
Vote for me, and I'll what set you. No, I don't think so. No, so yeah, we got to understand constipation in all its forms, and that third of the day trip that they got folks on is a lot of obstruction.
Yeah. I mean, and the way I like to think about it is, and if I'm talking to somebody about this, I'm like, all right, well, what did you like to do when you were a child? When you were a child playing, what did you play? Like what did you like? Did you like taking care of a little baby doll? Are you gonna be a good parent? Did you like taking care of little things? Did you like playing doctor, or did you like did you like me? I like playing radio station and playing business. And then the question is, are you doing what you did when you were a child? Are you doing the adult version of that? Because
No.
when you're not,
No.
then you're probably not following your passion. And you're
It,
probably,
it's been regulated. It's been, how people, they go to college and they don't even know what they want to study. I mean, they don't have any. I mean, most people don't have a passion.
Yeah. Most,
They don't.
and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying is to really understand this conversation, because we come at this topic at a little different angles. Like we feel the same, but we come at different angles.
Right.
You're a little bit more. You try to appeal to the, sort of like the are you a human or not type of thing inside of somebody. Like, are you really consider yourself a human, and you working like a slave like this? My thing is to come out a little more Tony Robbins-ish, perhaps, where I'm like, look, like this, it's about finding your passion. And it's not, but it's not to say it in a flowery way. We're saying that's life and death. Find your passion. Like if that's not a priority, if you don't know what it is,
isn't your life your passion? That's a passion to me. My life. That's my passion. That's why I practice the mucusless diet, because it's a passion. It's like, wow, look at this. Look at this information.
But we're talking more about the type of passion that of doing something that allows you to exist in the current reality, which means for some, which for some people it's like it's spiritually enlightened as you want to think you are. You probably need money unless you're out homesteading somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the problem, is there are creative ways that have never been tapped on how to get it. And it's up to you to find it. There's ways to get it.
But what I'm saying is, before you can tap in, you need to know a little bit about yourself. And you need to, like, because you just can't go. That's to me, that's that missing part when you get on that rant, that you don't give people that bridge on how to do that. You can't do it without knowing what you're passionate about and having some sense of who you are. Know thyself. You got to know that.
But you're practicing the mucusless diet now, and that's teaching you about yourself in a way that academia is not. And you have to give it's like you have to give precedence to what is leading you now. That's really what it comes down to.
But what we're saying is, but without the removal of this obstruction we're talking about, there's a lot of people that would never get to a point where they would get that education from the mucusless diet, because they haven't made the proper, they haven't designed their lifestyle design. Think about that concept. Design your life. That's what I do.
Well,
that's what we try to do.
You're saying a 16 and 17-year-old that is thinking like that.
Thinking like what? I'm talking about people. I ain't talking about teenagers. I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, but they're the ones that's gonna decide to go to college. Like, they're at that age now that they're.
Well, you're thinking. I'm not talking about college. You always bring college up. I'm talking about. Procter and Gamble. Working.
That's the line of
the
reality
wage
that they go. They go
because if you get into but that's changing, because the numbers of the numbers of people going to college are like skyrocketing down. There's more and more people that are not going to college, but they're not any better off, in my opinion. They're not because they're
right.
It's like there's the people, they're like, well, I'm not gonna waste all this money and do that, and it's like, well, they're not any better off. They're not.
What's the dropout rate like?
I'd have to look it up, but it's huge. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge drop off of people that's not even going to college, and then the people that go, it's a lot of they don't make it through, and that's a whole.
High school. I'm talking about high school. Like, are folks going?
I don't think
that and finishing.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers aren't as bad. I don't think. As far as I don't think there's not like the dropout rate of high school of people that started going is not high, as far as I know. I'd have to look it up, but.
Yeah, well.
But we're generally gonna be until we put our youth programs together. We're talking to people that's pretty much either in college or out of college, like in their 20s. 30s, where we're talking 20s through 70s is sort of our the mucus-free life demographic. When I look at the people who watch our stuff, it's people that's from about 21 years old to about 75. We have a wide range, but it ain't the it's not the teenagers usually. Those are we have them. There's a few of them, but it's not in large numbers. They're not ready yet for this, and they don't have a lot of that's a teenage rebellion that we will engineer in the future. So that's on our list. Like we're coming after the teenagers, believe us, but not yet. Like there's some other things that had to happen first. But in the way that, if you look at the history since the 1950s of how teenagers function and operate in the economy and in the society, because in the 50s, you basically had the ascendancy of the teenage person, because before the 50s, a teenager wasn't nothing. Like they didn't have no power. Then all of a sudden there was economic power in the 50s, and all this focus started going on, young people, children and teenagers, and it was a cultural shift. Then you started having like the little mini countercultural movements amongst teenagers, where they would the rebellion, going against the mainstream. Then they would, once they went to college, they got all that out of their system. Then they became good citizens after college, and they were more sickly from eating that way, and they got into the got into the system, but there was that window. There was that window at some point between like the age of 15 and 21 where that like we're gonna find people in that window where they have that desire to rebel, that desire to want to do something different. And there ain't nothing more rebellious than practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System, where you come home. Because back in the day, it was, it was like teenager, what's the, like I'm like, no, you're grounded. Like, no, I'm not. I'm leaving. It's like I'm going. You better not be going to see that girl. I'm going to see her. You can't control me. I'm at, and that if we can take that energy and you hone that over into the Mucusless Diet Healing System, or now that you can, well, son, why aren't you eating your pork chop? I don't eat death, Dad. I don't eat feces and pus.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Wash your mouth out. I don't wash mouth. I don't put things in my mouth that don't belong.
The great
that attitude, that rebellion. We can create a whole campaign, and you go and
I got the Scared Healthy program. I've actually talked to doctors about the Scared Healthy. And I've talked to you about that.
Like scared, the scared healthy program with Brother Ehret.
Yeah.
that'll be a program. Yeah, we would, we have you come out and because we'll like where they would take people into the prisons, we'll take you into the nursing homes and the hospitals and the
like the walkthroughs they
in
do
the funeral. We go sit in on some
with the interns, the walkthrough, and then you do a walkthrough and
walkthrough.
And then you check them out, and they got, and you see all these patients, and you ain't saying nothing. You just listening to what the doctor is talking to them about, and and then at the end of it, we what were they eating? It's always gonna come down.
Always come back.
What were they eating? And so we scare you healthy, like if you can see, like this is what you got to look forward to. Because what they were eating, you're eating now. In most cases. So, that Scared Healthy program is ready to launch. It's just wait. It's just waiting.
We go to some show up at some random funerals and funeral parlor.
The lady who asked us to do that. Remember the last time we did the lady wanted to bring that the table and everything, and wanted us to set it up at the funeral.
Right.
And it was like, really? She's like, yeah, I want this exactly everything, and so, it's
so what we're really at the end of the day, what we're demonstrating a certain kind of attitude and mentality. I like to call this the mucus-free mindset. This is an attitude and a mentality that we're sharing, because you're not going to get it anywhere else unless people that us or people that practice Mucusless diet. But the attitude is something that can rub off when you plug in. That's the benefit of plugging in. We always talk about the plug in, and so you get that attitude.
We're trying to inspire you to treat yourself better. You can do better. Stop treating yourself like a trash receptacle, which that's what we try to do.
Yeah, because we have,
you don't necessarily have to practice the Mucusless diet. We would love for you to get a book, check it out, but we just want you to take better care of yourself, and you can do that in a lot of ways, man. And in most cases, everybody know if they eat more fruits and vegetables, they're gonna be healthier. Cut out all the animal flesh and the dairy. And I'm like all the time. I mean, like just yesterday, I was with 3 people that I know I converted to at least get a book.
Mm.
I'm on it, man. I mean, I'd be like the ninja book seller cat,
Yeah.
like, all those cards, man. I'm almost out of them again, man, because I be,
Mm.
passing them out. And I know these people are going to, I don't waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right,
know,
right,
I
right.
done honed in on just when the hit them. Like, I met a cat yesterday. He's an Israelite. He's like, well,
Mm.
he said, brother, I'm an Israelite, and he said it like I know some things, But by the time I got on him, he was like,
Right, right.
man, thank you for this. I'm gonna look into this, and can I call you, or can I, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, this don't have anything to do with that religion. It's just you can still be an Israelite. And he said, man, I got chicken right now. And he said, I know. He said, I know the diet piece is important. I said, don't get caught up in that Leviticus, because that's where
Mm-hmm.
they try to go. They try to go there.
Right.
He's like, no, man. He said, I'm listening to what you saying. He said, I know that this is something. He said, we opposed to meat like this. I didn't know this guy. It was just, and he just said something to me. And I looked, I was like, hey, you into like things that are about seeking. Said, you look like a truth seeker, brother. That's just what I said. He said, yeah, you know that.
Mm.
And I just laid it on him, So and then another one, I did a piece down at the tab. This guy got to the point where he pulled out his phone and started showing me vacant churches in Louisville that was being condemned.
Mm.
Because I told him about what I wanted to do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He started showing me vacant churches in Louisville, man.
Mm.
Brother Duncan. I'm hoping he's gonna look at our channel and maybe he'll hear his name. But
Mm.
he was really gave me a bunch of money, and I let the floodgates open on him, And
Yeah.
he almost missed the show. He was so yeah, man. It's like my message, I guess, today is transition, transformation, and transcend.
Mm.
That's what I want folks to concentrate on. That's where I'm going now. I've been, really hit with this message of really transitioning away from food before I lose my breath.
Mm. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to me, man. To be given that, and like they say, the you have to be empty so the knowledge of the universe can fill you up. This is not in no books. Now it might be in Spira's next book, but it's not in no books. The yogis aren't seeing this.
No, we had just been talking about, or I know I was talking about that with Brady. Yeah, where it's like even in the book club. So we have when people hear us referring to the Mucus-free Life book club, we have a private book club in our private membership association, and it's like the most serious studiers and practitioners of the Mucusless diet that's now that I know of, as far as it's just really like digging deep, going deep into some of these topics. But
they told me I can't call myself a practitioner because I haven't done your e-course. I got calls on Messenger, man. Like
on the Wednesday meetup. Yeah, I heard you
well, I'm saying even after that, they were hitting me up like, man, well, here you're not a practitioner. You ain't done the e-course. So it's serious. It's like it's I've heard people refer to Spira as a god.
No, we don't need to bring all that up.
I'm like, whoa, like, man, this is a testimony waiting. This is a video testimony waiting. So, make that hit, Spira, get that video testimony, because that's going to be a good one.
Right. And this is, I give y'all a sneak peek. So soon we're going to create a way, kind of open this up to the public to become part of the private. And there'll be a little process on that. We still coming up with a name. I'm about to maybe call this Mucus-free Social, just to give us a name, but still got to working on it. But this is the platform, our very own social media platform, where we got all kinds of stuff. If you're in the coaching program, we got stuff, and e-course, and then the book club. And I'm just real excited about this. And I post stuff in here that I don't post other places. And I had to kind of unleash on someone on Instagram, where they were saying fats are essential for us to stay alive. Essential fatty acids help our bodies absorb multiple vitamins and protect our organs, and helps us produce necessary hormones, and or omega-3 and omega-6 reduce your risk of heart disease. So I had to give her the old Spira treatment, and I won't read all that, but because that's just such a, like, literally out of the textbook. That was just so textbook.
Yeah.
Like they just copied and pasted it off of just that whole, just that whole mentality.
Deaf culture is still raging.
Yeah. It's like deaf culture is alive and well.
And we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna
and
to the last one falls. We're gonna be right there. We're gonna be right there.
And that's a topic I might talk about that next week, either next week or the week after. I'm gonna get into just analyzing the nature of the death culture, and it's just going over things that a lot of people wouldn't think about unless you're around us and really thinking about it, because people accept their reality.
You're born into it. You're born into the death culture. In most cases, unless you got a super, super hip mama and daddy,
right,
that was really ahead of the curve. But you're born into it, and you subconsciously have. So it's like subconsciously, as a black man, and I close my eyes. If somebody was to say, think of God, I close my eyes and I see that picture of Jesus deep in my psyche now, in my subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
That, where does that come from? That comes from before I was born.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I wasn't no avid church goer, and so I wasn't looking at pictures of Jesus, and my mom didn't have Jesus up in the house. But we know that hippie on the stick type of silhouette that they show us and brainwash us with.
Mm.
So all of that is, and this is what we're dealing with. We're trying to put ourselves back together in the midst of those who are trying to turn us into zombies. The problem is that we think that those who are trying to turn us into zombies are more sophisticated or more human than us, but they're zombies too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not elevated. You know what I mean? They as crazy as they're trying to make you.
Right.
So the problem is, like Spira was saying, a happy slave. And that's what we're seeing too much of.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just talking about African Americans. We're talking about everybody who feels like they have to. It's like this drudgery life of working. We were talking about the third of the day. It starts from first, second, fifth grade. They got you going 6-7 hours a day, being bored as hell. You dig? Teaching you things like, remember what they used to teach us in health? I don't know if it was different in yours, but they used to have a class called health. It was just the weirdest things that they would, just brainwash stupidness, all these things, but the whole purpose of getting you up. And I just remember driving through town at 6 or 7 in the morning and it's dark outside, and seeing little babies standing on the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right for them to stand on the bus stop in the 7 to 6 o'clock morning dark, but not at 7 o'clock in the evening dark. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
It's like, little babies, man, just standing there by themselves, waiting on their bus. Man, it's dark as a mug,
Right.
And it just used to befuddle me, man. I'd be like, wow, And so, yeah, man, it starts there with this 8-hour thing, and then the high school, this 8-hour thing gets you used to it. Gets you used to being bored 8 hours a day. Like you giving 8 hours, that early in life, you're giving 8 hours up.
Right.
It's a mindset. Then they get you into that because, you don't think, if somebody said, hey, I got a job, you wouldn't think that the job was an hour and a half. Right? You automatically think 8 hours.
Right.
Where did that come from? A third of the day. You see, so let's occupy them, get them, distract them. Let's distract them from thinking about freeing themselves, and healing themselves. So
what you're trying to say is it because I know the people that don't get what we're saying, or that are like, and it's like, what we're saying is, if you're interested in healing yourself, if you're interested in trying to get to the highest level of yourself physiologically, body, mind, and spirit, then you can't be working for McDonald's and Walmart
for Mr. Crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, there's my thing is the studying and transition. I think you're more of a, like, just drop everything tomorrow.
No, I'm saying don't even pick it up.
Yeah, but we're talking to people that already have the job. We're not talking to the kids yet. We're talking to people
I'm talking
that
to,
are on the age on
we are
average.
talking to kids.
We're talking to people that's 25 to 75.
We're talking, kids, little boys and little girls.
Right.
They are from 21 to 70. Little boys and little girls. They act like little boys and little girls.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to spare them. Show me some grown-up actions. Grown-ups aren't slaves. You dig?
Yeah. Well, that's a good. I like that. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Grown-ups aren't slaves. That's real. Yeah.
So, I mean, we are talking to kids. We talk, playing in the sandbox. Trying to act as though that they are grown up or adults, but they're just little kids, scared of their own shadow. Oh my God, if I don't do this, I won't eat. That's not what it comes down to. What did he say? Well, you gotta eat. That's
right.
that's what they used to say to me growing up, wanting to be a jazz musician. My cousins and aunts and oh man, if you make a decision to be a musician, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. I heard that just so much. So what happened, Spira? I learned how to not eat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now,
doesn't this look great?
Oh, I'm full just looking at it. What is that? Some kind of lunch? Like a lunch program?
So this is a thing where they show you a picture and you try to guess, is it a prison lunch or a school lunch? So they said, is it
what you say, it's prison lunch or
yeah,
school lunch?
yeah. Okay. So this first one says, is this a prison food or school food?
That looks like school.
No, it's prison.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all right.
It's too neat.
So what about this? Now I know this because I know this one. What do you think this is?
What is that?
It's like it's a cheeseburger, but that's about the most reconstituted meat. It's because that's the bun. There's like a patty thing, weird like cheese, and then the bun.
Wow, what is that? School?
Yeah, that's school. I remember them.
See,
those things were awful.
I don't remember them.
What about this? They got a whole. What is that? A whole thing of. That's zucchini. I don't have no clue what this mucus glop is. This looks like rice, and then you can't live without chocolate milk.
So what is that? Is that prison?
Let me think. It's this school.
So okay.
I have no clue what the hell that stuff is. Ugh.
Okay, so that's got to be prison just by the way the way the tray looks.
Yeah, that's prison.
And you notice the trays are dark.
Yeah.
Ominous, dark. Let's give them black trays.
Yeah.
Okay, give them black trays. Black.
Oh,
black.
Now this looks like this is exactly how the Meals on Wheels look.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
I
remember them with the plastic across the bottom.
Yep, the plastic, and you put that in the microwave. And, man, I hated those.
I remember them.
Let's see.
Those are meal. Yeah, those.
Oh yeah, this prison. Okay.
Oh, is that prison? Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes it. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's it? Oh, what is this? Is this supposed to be a little taco?
That's got to be school.
That's got to be school. Yeah, that's pathetic.
What is that? What's that red?
Well, this is like sauce. It's like Probably some kind
Okay.
of
For the taco.
sauce to dip the taco, but they got a whole puddle of sauce.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess you could
Like,
put
damn.
your white potato wedges in there, and
Oh,
you
okay.
know, I don't know why they even waste the time to put any.
Is that milk?
Yeah, 1% low fat milk,
Wow.
and I don't even know why they put this little iceberg lettuce with a really nasty looking tomato on there,
Okay.
like some. So we got the bologna again. We got the dark tray, so we
That's
know
prison.
we know where
That's
this is going. Yep.
Say the dark tray. You know, black is so
Within the
bad.
zesta crack and the one little zesta cracker there, like that's
Oh,
you getting
that was the whitey. That's the whitey meal.
yeah. Yeah, now I know. Yeah, now this has to be school. Yeah, I remember he used this kind of crap. What the heck is this? Let's say school. And they got an ad for Kroger's, right? Dang, a long ad. Oh, that's prison. I was wrong. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's like a jumble of stuff.
That's West Coast prison.
Right. This is another one of these frozen. So this is prison, unless this is school. So this is school. So I guess there's some schools. This is like just interchangeable.
Man, you making me want to throw up now. So I'm like, we don't need to watch too much of this. I'm like getting queasy.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting queasy. Okay.
But this is the kind of stuff. These are techniques that can help you fast. when you're in a fast and you start getting hungry, and then you find like let me go. You start looking at some of this kind of stuff, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just go do myself another enema. I'm gonna keep fasting.
Yeah. You know, somebody who was telling me the other day that they watch food preparing shows when they're fasting, and that
I
helps.
used to watch the which was years ago. I used to fast and watch the like man versus food shows where there was like the host was just gluttony master, where he could just every episode he would just he'd go to some town to where they had like this big old plate of stuff, and he'd try to eat it all in under a certain period of time. And I used to watch that when I'd be just months into a fast, and I'm just watching this idiot.
It's almost like it fills you up in some kind of way that it doesn't make you hungry. You know, like if you're thinking about hunger, you like, oh boy, this is disgusting. You know, did you see the video I sent you with the John Patitucci was teaching?
Yeah, but I didn't want. I watched a little of it. I don't know what you were trying to what your
I was
message
saying
of it
was look at him, and it was like he was teaching. He was teaching at that. I told you the seconds. It was like this is the future right here. You know.
Okay, I missed that part of it.
He was teaching. He was like laying it out for all the players. Like, okay, you do this, and then it was the way they sounded. It was like, oh man.
Yeah. I didn't even. I mean, I already know. Yeah, like I already.
Typical college course, and this is what we're producing, and we're wondering why the music is, But like I say, we are on it, man, in 2024 with the Fire Music Project, and yeah, man, it's art. It's art, man. This is an art form. Life is an art form.
Right.
Life is an art form. So yeah, man. It's what is it that we can do that we're not doing to motivate and encourage people to put themselves back together? Is it something that we can do better, or something that
we'd had to ask the folks in the chat, or run a
well, they, the folks
run a poll.
They gonna I know what one person is gonna say. Brother Eric could learn the E-course. That's the one thing you could do. I think people would live a lot better life if they know I did that, So I don't know. Is it? Do you see any questions out there? Anybody ask?
Reese said we should review nursing home food. So that's what we got here. I mean, this is the kind of stuff. Yeah, like you should, and this goes with you talking about the, prepare for your transition. So like you should, okay. So if the slave thing didn't get you, then my thing is you should make it your life's mission to not have this be your future, to do whatever you need to do by any rational means necessary.
That's what they've been told.
To just cruise right on by that.
They've been told is a part of the contract. That's a part of the contract. They signed with the slaves that they work for. This is a part of the contract. This is where their money goes. This is where they take out of your check for this. This is a part of the contract. Right.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna be doing.
You just seen all that in motion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. That's what I'm gonna be. So everybody, watch out. In the next few weeks, I'm gonna do a couple seminars. So I'm gonna do the presentations that I gave at the past couple Ehret days, which never had been published. And we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna go ahead and share that with the community, so you'll want to sign up for that, because I go in on all of this, on this whole all the evil that's behind this reality.
Yeah, I mean,
we go all into that.
You got a big dose of it, like right in your face.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is. This is what you're dealing with. Now you know. Now you know. This is one thing to talk about if you ain't went through, but you done went through it. You know exactly what you're talking about now. Now you know.
Right.
These devils are wicked, man.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Because not only are they, I mean, what you just said, not only do you think you're saving up for that, but not really, because they actually take everything.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's not, like you didn't matter how much you save. They take everything unless you know exactly what you're doing, which most people don't. They take everything.
They sitting on the beach chilling with yours, while you think you have something waiting on you when you need 2 knee replacements.
Right.
You wondering what happened? I thought this money was here, sir. We just got enough for your bed. Might be a little money there,
Yeah, they have systems in place that literally systematically strip you of everything you have. When you get to this point, like, people think it's like, they strip everything.
Well,
and people don't know that until it's too late, how the system actually works. They think they know, or they think that they like, oh, I got some good insurance, and I got my Medicaid and my Medicare, and I got all, and it's like, they're
This guy told me that he started back working where he could have health a health plan.
Mm-hmm.
Started back after retiring, and it's like, man.
Yeah, no, these are like little hellscapes, little places that you, if you're hearing this message and you're not already there, then you have a choice to make. Like, you have an opportunity to, again, what I say before, lifestyle design.
Yes.
Design your reality. Take full responsibility for designing your reality. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to,
don't be afraid.
the architects of death and destruction. You design it, for better or worse.
Yes.
You design it. And that's the attitude. And that's more of the attitude I take. When it comes to like the job side of thing, I'm saying you design it. Like, you take control.
Yes. Yeah.
Because this is what happens when you lose control. And because every one of these people that we're looking at here, when they were young, they felt like they were invincible.
Oh
They
man,
felt as if they were
sitting on top of the doo-doo heap.
right.
Sitting on top of the doo-doo heap and loving the smell.
Right.
Loving the smell, man. And folks just constantly repeat what they say, keep doing the same thing, and expecting different results. What
Right.
do they say? That's a sign of what? Insanity. We keep doing it over and over, and we keep watching this society just revolve in the same manner. We're here to tear it apart. I mean, that's the least we can do.
Yeah. Like, so this is an excerpt of my webinar. So, would you rather like being these fine folks in their 70s or in their 80s, or would you rather be like Chef Babette,
Chef Babette,
who at the age of 72 is a grandmother who looks like that?
yeah.
And I got the picture of Ehret Day where she's doing these one arm push-ups.
Yes.
Just making it, people that's a fraction of her age look just like they're weak. She's just up there just doing these push-ups, and these guys are like, oh man, he can't do, and so the choice is yours. The choice is yours. What you want to do, and that's what it really is. It is really about, is the choice is yours. Because we're confronting you with something where now you got a path. There's a fork in the road, so you can keep going down, Procter and Gamble lane, and McDonald's and Pizza Hut lane, or check this out.
Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid of your shadow and get up out of there and go create you something and live it. You got to live this life. You only get one shot here. Don't blow it. I don't want to hear about, oh, I can't do that. I can't go here. I can't, people talking about they want to do certain things and they never done this. And I'm saying that the things that motivate you, that you get excited about, why don't you think you can do it or be a part of it? It's like, you don't got, you try to do this and maybe you can't do it this first, and then try again. It's, just sitting up, just working, man. Like, you get 2 weeks, a year, you get 2 weeks. You know, and that's not enough time. You know, it's not enough time. Get out of that. Get out of that sick state. That's a sick state. And I know folks hate us talking about this stuff, man. That it's because they got jobs and they've been on them and they don't have a clue how to, you know, they've grown up in that culture of putting in applications.
Right.
They've grown up in that, and you know, so and then
The whole
isn't it funny that people have that you hear people complaining and the same way they got that job, they can get another job. But they don't, they be complaining, man, this supervisor, oh, it just, but they won't leave. You know, it's like,
yeah. I mean, it's like I said, yeah, it's, you know.
All you did was put in an application. These people didn't come and handpick you and stop by your house and say, man, I got to, we have a place for you. No, you put in an application, you can do it anywhere. You know, so yeah, I'm real. I see the degeneration of this world, and what's okay. So if you ask the question of, did human behavior change the environment, like breaking the laws or just degenerate human behavior, or did the environment do something that changed human behavior, the way that people had to start acting to deal with the environment? Which way? What happened first? You know, is it the chicken or the egg? You know,
Right.
I kind of
Well,
like to go with humans. I think humans did it to themselves.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm on that bandwagon. But, you know, it's whatever that initial constipation was that really created the trajectory, that set this trajectory down to this hellscape where this is,
Yeah.
you know, like it, because this is what I try to attack this. It's this wholesome thing. You know, that's the problem I have is the people that's living like this, just blissful ignorance, and then they really think that they're to do anything else would be depriving their child of something, some experience. Because I hear that all the time, and it always bugs me. It's this idea of where a parent will be halfway into, like, well, you know, I read the Mucusless Diet, it makes a lot of sense, but you know, I can't, you know, and I try to eat a little better, but you know, I can't do it with my children.
Oh man, I hear that all the time, man. That's very common, man.
Right.
Folks. And that's why that's why we were talking earlier about that in terms of just you know, it's like you what parent would sit by and see some poison and let their children eat something that they wouldn't eat? But that happens all the time, man. And that's why we talk about those who are practitioners, real practitioners. takes something to be a real practitioner.
Right.
You know, there's people who got the book and they do a few, though. I do my enema every other day, but we're talking about real practitioners. I know a few real practitioners, put it like that. It ain't no abundance that I can, pick out. So, because I know people who call themselves practitioners, they let their children eat anything. You'd be like, huh?
Right.
But it's that fear, man. And they think that, they're not causing any trouble. They have the guy who has, separate living quarters than the ex-wife, and they go and switch off and take care of the kids. It's that kind of situation. Well, the husband, or the wife lets them eat like that. Well, if there's anything to stand up for, is your children and what they're consuming, because they really need this now.
Right.
They really need this. If nothing else, you talk, what they say, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Well, they miss one. It should be eating, writing, and arithmetic.
Mm-hmm.
At kindergarten level, they should be teaching right then and there. So they, to sit and watch your children just killing themselves, and you trying to, sit up and.
But this is,
my enemas. I'm fasting. I'm mucus lean today. I'm mucusless. And then you watch your children eat Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, or whatever. It's like that creates a constipation inside of you.
Right.
You're not. This is connected to you. This is an invisible card, invisible, that's connected to you. That karma comes back to you.
Yeah.
People wonder why their lives aren't.
I mean, it's these are it's like simple stuff. Simple, but you gotta want to live. You gotta want this.
Yeah, like, but that's you have to define live. What people think living consists of. They believe that they've been ordered to live in this regimented life in this way. Do it like this. Go down this path like this. Do this. It's the breaking of the chains, man. It's talking about slaves, man. You got to break them chains. These people have been so discombobulated, man. Just totally not who they are.
Yeah.
You dig? So when I talk or you talk and we talk about real basic stuff. This is real basic stuff.
Yeah.
That we're talking about. We're not talking about no heavy, like rocket science type of stuff. We're talking about eating apples, eating cherries, eating the red leaf lettuce, cleaning our rectum out.
Right.
That's basically all we're talking. Let that dictate what you think, what you feel.
Right.
See, give over to your physiology and let your physiology lead. See, and that's what people can't do. Everybody want to be intellectual. outside of their physiology. They want to think, oh, I'm really brilliant. I'm, just kind of let your physiology just be what it is and see what you feel. See what you feel. See what you think. How's your perspective? What are you looking at this year, where last year you say to yourself, boy, I'm glad I don't think like that.
Yeah.
It's like this whole transformation. This is what I'm saying. Transformation, transition, and then transcend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to stop eating before I lose my breath. It would be lovely, man, to have a period of time where I've cut out solid foods. I would love to get there. I've had a taste of
it. Yeah, because you've already been there. So I mean, that ain't, you know what it is.
Yeah.
I've had a taste what that is.
But can I keep it? Can I keep it onto that life? Onto when I transition, to the realm? Can I?
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's the inner
diet. It's the mucusless diet.
The inner workings of that.
This is what Ehret. This is what Ehret was looking for. This is what Ehret was. This was what we supposed to do. We supposed to bring it here. What do you say? Transition? Okay.
Yeah. Now I still. Yeah, how to translate that to people besides the ones on here, because you can't just say that. You can't say that to most people, at least, and be taken seriously, because most people, you lose everybody.
Willingly or unwillingly, you're gonna stop eating. One way or another, you're gonna stop eating. Now, what I'm saying I'm saying willingly or unwillingly. So what I'm saying is, you make the choice, you make the decision to know if it's going down like that, I can change that. It doesn't have to go down like that. It can go down like this, because I have a vision of what I'm trying to do now. I have a means to an end for my practice of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. We've gone all the way to wow, we've got an ending to this thing. Don't no other modality out there on the internet have an ending. We're the only ones that dare to go there. And the thing is even if you don't get it, if you don't understand it, you're gonna deal with the reality of it.
Yeah, like I said, the people that are watching are privileged, because this is the kind of stuff I would never talk about. I would only talk about it in the private spaces, in the book clubs, in the
now
amongst people that have gone through a certain process where I know mentally they'll be more they'll be able to use that information more, and it won't harm them. Because sometimes that level of message, which really needs to be an esoteric, closed, small group of people that would ever hear that, because we've seen what happens when people take some of these messages the wrong way, and they're not ready.
You can't take this. I don't think you can take this the wrong way, because we're talking about transition here. We're talking about.
But what I'm saying is, and believe me, I've dedicated a large portion of my life to figuring out how to bridge that gap. I haven't figured it out yet, to bring people from the transition discussion to what you're talking about, They were nowhere close to that. Because there's no, because that transition.
I don't know if you tried to go there with the discussion.
I have not. I have not on here. That's what I'm saying. Small groups of people or individual peoples, and I've said, and it's not always worked out great because they weren't ready for that discussion.
But this discussion is about transitioning very slowly.
You got to emphasize, but you got to emphasize that because
we've been talking about it all. We've been talking about it all of this event.
Well, that's all. But that's what I'm saying is it almost feels like no matter how hard we harp on transition, there is literally as Ehret said, it's like a part of the brain that is missing.
We won't know if they get it or not.
Because what we don't want, because here's the problem. So what we don't want is there is somebody goes off and does whatever, and then all of a sudden here they're coming, oh, these guys they're talking about don't eat and stop eating and all this kind of stuff and take it all out of context.
We're not talking about don't eat. We're not talking about don't eat. You didn't hear me say don't eat. I said transition.
I'm saying the way that it would be taken. That transitioning.
We can say about a lot of things that can be taken certain ways. We can't control how people will deal with lemon enemas. How, you know what I mean? They might do 20 a day, or or whatever. It's like you only can say what you can say. I'm trying to be as rational and talk about transition as slow as possible on mucus lean, mucusless. We're not even talking about, but we're saying that if you get into the practice of the mucusless diet, there is a way to take it to its logical conclusion. There is an ending to this thing. And we're talking into your 80s, 90s, hundreds and 10. We're talking, like that's where you should be looking at, not what the pictures that you were seeing showing. That's what they're buying into.
Right.
And I'm saying that if you're practicing the mucusless diet at that age, you should be eating less anyway.
Well, but then
eating better.
Yeah, because that's a more that in terms of explanation, that approach I think can work better in terms of get people to observe what happens with. Think of your grandparents and your great grandparents.
Somebody got to.
Do they eat the same amount that they did? Do they eat the same amount of food in their 70s and 80s that they ate when they were 20 and 30?
Let them get there. Let them get to be 70 or 80 and tell us about it.
They don't need to. That's what I'm saying. We don't need that. We need the. No, you're still on. I'm bringing it back to something that everybody can observe easier than even what you were just saying, because everybody can observe. And if they know anybody that's in their 70s or 80s, you know that the people that get that old are not eating the same amount of food that they ate when they were in their 20s.
And choices is a big.
But then that's a separate discussion, because
if you're practicing the mucusless diet.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm bringing it back to just observe human physiology outside of the mucusless diet as a starting point. So because what we're trying to do is inspire people to practice the mucusless diet. We can't assume. We got to say, okay, if you're going to be a practitioner, then you need to be able to observe that.
You're going to get the book, because being a practitioner takes a minute.
Yeah. I mean, you get the book. You're gonna go through the
book.
e-course.
Just get the book.
Yeah, you're gonna enroll in the e-course. You gotta get the coaching program.
If you don't do the e-course, you're not a practitioner. If you don't do the e-course.
You're gonna get all that. What I'm saying is, with that, in terms of, because I'm always trying to think of how can you really explain these things, some of these things, to more people, where they don't just immediately dispel it, like, oh, that, like, where that sounds too crazy.
They dispel the Mucusless Diet Healing System as a modality anyway,
but not as much. Not when it's put out the right way, under the right circumstances. So what I'm saying is, with this piece, the elementary analysis for the kindergartners, you bring them in and you say, okay,
they are kindergartners.
That's what I'm.
Those who call themselves practitioners are still kindergartners, because they haven't committed. There's a lot of folks, like I say, they got the book, and that's about it.
Your heart. My thing is, I don't hear enough people calling themselves practitioner. You are hard on the one, on the three that do. There ain't no law. It ain't like there's 100 people that call themselves, that are trying to fake the funk, that's calling themselves.
There's a lot of people who try. You look on their profile, and then be like, "I'm a practitioner." You'd be like, "Oh, okay."
It's like, I'm just happy to see people even wanting to be or trying to be.
Well, that's cool. I have no problem.
I'm a little more.
And I will encourage anybody and try to share what I can with anybody who wants that kind of information about their physiology and cleaning themselves up. I'm always here for them. I'm always. You did? Yeah, I'm always here for them. It's so I'm more social than Spira is. And he showed what did we do? We did two events? So I think we did one event, and Spira showed up to give the warden to the prisoners.
Yeah, but that was a special, because I really didn't want to be there at all. You kind of
showed up, but I was there the whole day and hung out. Oh man, I love to talk to people and tell them about the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I love it, man. I just love it, and I do it a lot. I do it a lot, and so. Yeah, Spira, you can catch him on these platforms talking. But as far as if he had to be social,
an Ehret day once a year.
Once a year, other than that, and we're working on that, because we got to do better than once a year with.
When we start the tour, then a few more opportunities.
And he might not even talk to people after.
I'll still have that. I'll disappear. But where's Spira at?
Where he at?
I'll be back.
Back in the tour bus or whatever, chilling. So yeah, man, this is we're getting ready to deal with the art.
These have been big transitional periods in our lives, and
for real. I mean, for real. It's been really. You just don't know how me and Spira's lives have paralleled each other and made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, like we're going through the same things at the same times, and it's like, man, like the universe. Once again, we moved out of the way and let the universe do its thing, and we just follow up, man, and just do what we're supposed to do. And our lives have paralleled in such a way, it's just so unbelievable. Really unbelievable that
Yeah.
that things are falling like this, but it's a great thing, man, and others are are gathering, and so that inner circle is getting stronger, and it's gonna be a force to reckon with, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's beautiful, man. Art, more art. The artists. We wanna, the art of living. We wanna exhibit that, man, and that's what we're busy doing, man. Putting all this stuff into place. Um, we Spira's working on projects. Then another project fell in my lap. That
Right.
that me and Spira discussed, and Spira was like, I got his blessings on go forward go forward, young man.
Right. Right.
So it's like, man, just all these things are just coming together. Uh, so beautiful thing,
Yeah.
beautiful thing. I'm just so elated right now, man, because of what we're gonna do, and where mucus-free life is going, and the outreach. There's people trying to get with us, like for real, like they really are tracking us down. Like this interest of Mucusless diet is really kind of overwhelming, man.
Yeah.
Overwhelming to see the people are really getting excited. I mean, when we did the blinks and the people were recognizing us, and that was a big thing for us, because we say where we live, they never know
They
us.
never right. Right.
And when they started recognizing us in our own hometown, then we was like, wow. Wow. We was like, wow. So
Right.
it was like something to build on. It was like, wow. Because we used to the other stuff of people in different countries and different cities knowing who we are, and that's cool. And we're very humble, and we're not like no tripped out type of attitudes with with people. When people come around us, we don't be having this. We just like we are on here, man. We just what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you transitioning? Are you into this? Or and people for the most part treat us really nice. Really are really cool with us. And but just to have, I'm just thankful to have a platform that I can share and help people. And when it comes to the fasting, people know me for the fasting and stuff like that, and that's cool. Yeah, it's cool, man. Because it helps motivate me, too, when I hear good stories behind people fasting. And you remember Ezra drew the portraits of us.
Mm.
And I mean, it was like, and now, what's the guy that's on he's on the group, he's probably in the book club too, but he just did the piece on us. Me, you, and Tikor.
JC.
JC, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
beautiful thing, man. That was really cool. Yeah. And Mike, with the merch.
Right.
This is really cool. You know, because black folks, man, be like, who's that white man on your chest?
Right. Right.
Who's that white man on your chest? I'll be like,
Right.
this is a big picture, man. I like it. They be like, who's that white man on your chest? I'll be like, and then I can teach, you know, I can go
Right. Right.
Arnold Ehret, you know. I done had that happen about 2 or 3 times. Who that white man on your chest?
Right.
So thanks, Mike, again, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So,
Yep.
So
yeah.
Is there anything else that we need to is there anything else for us to elevate, or is there anything else left for us to tear down?
I mean, my effort is gonna be to get back to putting out more content again regularly. You know, I've been behind the scenes working on a bunch of other stuff, but want to get back to the roots. You know, get some more content coming out. Get back on these weekly podcasts and start getting some. You know, do all different types of shows. We'll interview some different people and bring some people on, get some discussion panels, and do all that kind of thing. And yeah, really now it's just we working. We still kind of we in the back getting all this stuff ready, but it's almost ready to pop. It's almost ready to come out and unleash, and we're putting the last little pieces together.
How is Vadim doing with making us all rich?
Yeah, we're working on it. we're working on it. It's all about properly positioning yourself in the bear market period. This is the build, because that's really what this whole period is about, building. And that's something that I've been really thinking a lot about, is just the importance of building, the power of building. It's a very masculine energy, that's building things. We're supposed to build stuff. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't know how to build anything. They're just like, I'm doing, it's like that's a mentality when you're thinking in terms of building and trying to build something that will stand the test of time, that's worthy of the ancestors. We talk about practicing the Mucusless diet in 2023 and standing on the shoulders of those that came before us, those that were enslaved at gunpoint, and did the best that they could so that we can do what Brother Ehret's talking about and not be a wage slave. Where we have a choice. Our ancestors might not have had that choice, because it was either death or it was hang out long enough in hopes that one day freedom can happen. And so that's why we're a little hard on people that so easily just give up.
You have to make time to do this now. I mean, it's a time. I mean, the time is now. I mean, if there's ever a time, the time is now.
Right.
As far as free yourself, free your mind, free your body. Really, just build your paradise.
Right.
You dig? Because this is on its way out. United Snakes of America is on its way out.
Oh yeah.
Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient
America. Right. Yeah.
So let's be ahead of the curve and have our thing. We build our own. We build our own paradise. We build our own culture. It can be look at what America turned into from some wackos who decided to let's go and build. Let's and they try to make you go for the head fake, talking about they were looking for religious freedom. which, you know, ain't nobody buying into that. But yeah, I mean, and we have the holiday season coming up.
Oh yeah.
The craziest time of the year. It's the
It's the most
craziest time of the
craziest
year.
time of the year.
Of
Yeah.
the year. Psychopaths, pedophiles,
Wow.
and
You
rapists
know,
running the
and
street.
warmongers. Yeah.
Whoremongers. You know.
And
Yeah.
senators too.
Yeah.
Most wonderful time.
Yeah, man. So, you know, don't forget to vote. You know, voting is in what, 2 weeks. So don't
Mm.
forget to put in your snake. You know, go vote for your snake. And so, you know, we just talk about this manos. You know, Cass was asking me, said, "Man, is there anything that you can't elevate?" I used to think there was jazz music that I could elevate. I can't say too much good about that now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's done turned into, I mean, it's like the arts in America is just so sad, and it's just recapitulation. Nobody's
I mean,
able
it's art. Art has. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised because art has always been a mirror of the people.
of the people.
It
Exactly.
represents where people at.
It's
It's
a
a
signal.
barometer.
It's a signal of our vitality, and the vitality of our stomachs dictate the elevation of the profound art that we're not seeing. And so that's what we're talking about, cleaning ourselves up and coming with, with this profound level of artistry in all areas of from visual to music to dance to whatever art is. We have to put it back in place because it is great, but I haven't seen anything that has. I mean, I just don't even. I don't even get excited, man. What was the last concert you went to, Spira?
Uh,
Or the last play, or the last any visual art or or art gallery? What?
well, Ehret Day 2023. That's all the Breatharian Ensemble. That was that because that'll get me through that'll get me through the rest of the year. So I mean that was
Yeah. I mean, we have to settle with that, but I'm just talking about the artist, the man, the woman. It's just like, it is just so sad to even have a discussion with somebody that you thought was creative, and they're just so provincial. Like I say, they're interchangeable with the people that you would meet at the water cooler in Procter and Gamble's.
right.
You could never see Dexter Gordon working at Procter and Gamble.
Right.
You could never see Sun Ra working at Procter and Gamble.
No.
You know what I mean? You could never see Huey Newton working at Walgreens
Right.
or Amazon.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? It's like, we just and I'm talking about the artists. When I hear the artists talk, there's nothing coming out of their mouth that is like wow, like revolutionary. The Max Roach documentary was just on.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was inspiring to see the clips of him and Abby Lincoln, like old talk shows and conscious gatherings that they were attending, and because they were right in the midst, and 1964, 65, they were right in the midst of protesting music. He was like, man, this is our weapon. This is our weapon. We use the music.
So okay, I found something that and we can't. So we're gonna look at this. We'll talk about it. I don't want this video to get taken down. So we don't have to say anything about it. We'll look at it, and everybody will know what we have to say. But this tells us everything when you talk about black art. So this is called Black Fine Art Month Archive at the Disabled Black History Museum and Education Center. So let's look at Black revolutionary art. As I did a Google search for revolutionary art, and this pops up. You see this?
It's kind of small. It's kind of small. I don't know. Can you make it bigger? But okay.
So I'll describe it. So it's like an oil painting of a bunch of black folks protesting, holding, and everybody here. It's got a sign. They got a face mask on, and they're calling this is Black Fine Art. This is 2023 fine art.
That's
revolutionary fine art. 2023,
like water over gravy.
Mm-hmm. Lambs to the slaughter type of. This is the return to slavery. Just like
who is that gonna have shaking in their boots?
Right. Yeah.
Who's gonna look at that?
Who's threatened by that? Right.
Oh my God, they're gathered. They're grouping up. No. Ku Klux Klan is helping to fund them do the picture.
Right. Yeah, right. They're like,
we'll send a few dollars. What's your PayPal? What's your PayPal?
Right.
As long as you keep tea without sugar. That's as long as you keep doing that, we'll keep funding it.
By the Black is Beautiful by the Capitol building. You got.
Oh man.
This is where the consciousness is. This is where it's at, because this is where the physiology is.
This is where the physiology is. That's see, and that's what we don't
weak and tired.
We're really trying to get people. Another thing is we didn't talk about the stomach and the tragedies. How we were talking about how the sickness of tragedies going on,
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do a whole. I'm gonna do a whole episode on that. Yeah, that's probably gonna be next week.
How the stomach connects.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that.
To balance.
Yeah.
You dig? And we we picking up on this. We've been picking up on this.
Right.
How stomach and violence. People who shooting off rockets and missiles and bombing places, what were they eating? They wasn't eating fruits and green leafy plants. I can bet you that.
Right.
So we're making these connections.
Right.
And nobody else is. Nobody else is making these connections. Why? Because they're not going through a transition. And they don't want to. They just want to try to sell you products, and their little herb teas and do this diet and use $1 million words like they really are sophisticated, and but we're talking about revolution, ultimately liberation.
Mm.
You dig? I was listening to some things that they were just fired up, man. 1985, Nation of Islam, and they were just in their zone. Just, oh man, where did all that go? Because they were talking about now what they were gonna do in '85. Oh, million men. That was in 1995. And they were talking about what they were going to do in 2023, 2024, 2025. Where did that go? The stomachs.
Right.
We have great ambition and ideas. What kills it off? Stomachs. Our own stomachs take us out of the equation. We have great ideas. Oh, I want to conquer this. I want to do this. Oh, we want to liberate ourselves. We want our own, do for self. Oh, conscious. Oh.
Right.
What takes that completely out of the realm is their stomachs. Now the same people in 95, what they talking about now? How many pills they got to pop every day for the doctors? They got the medicine.
Yeah. I mean, it can be simply said by us. What they don't pick up on is if you can control the food of the people, you control the people.
Control the people.
So as long as all these different revolutionary groups were drinking milk and eating whatever, pus and all that, like they're not worried about them. They're not a threat. They're not going to overturn nothing or overthrow nothing. As soon as they get a little aggressive, we'll kill them all.
Yeah, we can have a neighborhood fish fry at the big church in the community.
Oh God.
Oh, what makes this fish different is we caught it. We went and caught it. We had a crew of men who went down to the Delta on Mississippi and caught all this fresh fish. This is what's happening in my community. This is what we think is liberating and doing for self.
Yeah. I mean, it's people, they want to stay in the position of a victim, that victim mentality, the victim space. They don't want to take control and say, like, I'm running my life. I'm building my situation. It's always put it on other people,
They wake up and look, and I'm not saying this in a negative way of all our Caucasian friends, because we do have Caucasian friends that we love, but what Black folks do is wake up every day and try to make white people like them. That be at the center of their whole consciousness of waking up. Of my job is to try to make white people like me. Now, I want everybody to like me. Spira wants everybody to like him. That's nothing, really terrible about it. But the thing is that when you do things that is innate and just not natural to you, and I know exactly what to do to make everybody like me. Spirit, you know exactly what to do to make everybody like you, don't you?
Yeah.
You know exactly when you go in that room or wherever it is, you know exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do it? Hell no.
No.
No, because it's against everything that you stand for, and that you are not into this coonism.
Right.
And this is where black folks is on this coonism. This fake smile. This is a part of that third of the day.
Right.
It's coonism, man. You sitting there and you're around Hillbilly Joe, who lives way up in 2 hours away. They make a 2-hour drive every morning to get to work.
Right.
And they your supervisor. And they don't even like you. They don't even like you. They spit on the ground you walk on. But they know how to be a supervisor, and they tell you just what to do, and you just do it, and you put on that little fake smile, and you get to doing. That's constipation. When you live like that, you don't know how. I mean, that's worse than in mucus form.
Yeah.
It's worse in mucus form. At least we know where the constipation is. But that kind of constipation is lodged in some circuitry that's up in the brain. That's
Right.
hard to eliminate. It's hard to eliminate that. And they don't know, and they wonder why, and then the years go on, and they look like, I'm here 10 years. Oh, I'm here 20 years. Oh, I'm here 30. Oh, wow, time is in. Just gave your life, Like I say, man, them people, them brothers and sisters in the middle passages would be ashamed. Be ashamed of how we carry ourselves on the face of this earth. Be ashamed. And I was saying, when they had folks wearing the mask, I was telling people, I said, you keep your mask on where the ancestors won't recognize your cooning ass.
Right. Right.
Yep. You keep it, you keep that mask on. I get it. I get who you hiding from.
Yep.
So, and it ain't nothing about hating white folks or hating these people or hating Hispanics or Japanese, or that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like having a history that, look, I'm gonna say this, and you take it, take it. They say take it or leave it alone. But as a black man, black women, everybody on the face of the earth want to be you. I know that's hard for folks to hear. But read Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet book. Didn't you just bring up on the book club that passage about race?
Yeah, and I said how I never talk about it on YouTube, and I don't have those conversations here publicly. But yeah, we brought that up there, not
Well,
on here, because
I'm just saying, everybody wants to be you.
well, that's what he said.
Now read Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet book. Because like you say, for some reason they pass over that section. That's like they pass over Genesis 1 and 29 in the Bible. They pass over that section.
Right.
But they got the other part.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what we said earlier. Know thyself.
Know thyself.
Most people don't know the first thing about themselves. Yep. And they get terrified when they start learning. They start doing that journey a little bit, and you talk about fear. That's why most of these people that get exposed to this, that start, they read the book or they start going down this, they get terrified because they have to look in the mirror and confront what they've done, confront their own ignorance. And the average person on this planet is not ready to confront their own ignorance.
But the thing is that how you confront it is just deal with your physiology, and you back in check.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're not prepared to do. They're not prepared to go on. They would rather die. That's the problem. That's the problem we have with these people. Would rather be slaves. They would rather die. They would rather have a colostomy bag. They would rather have a nurse giving them a bedpan. They don't want to live. That's what we're saying. They don't want to live. They ready to die. They already dead.
Yes.
So I mean,
they already dead. The Walking Dead. Don't they have a TV show called The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead is.
So it's like art living out the reality.
Yep.
That show isn't on there. That show is not on there just for entertainment. It's showing you where you at.
Right.
Why would I want to see something called Walking Dead if I wasn't dead myself, that I could relate?
Right.
Oh, I can relate to that. That's my brother,
I mean, like this guy in this picture with the big old soul food rack, lamb and barbecue. Like, how are we supposed to? How are you gonna talk to him about this? It's like, how you gonna, I mean, you could tell him, but he
comes to your house. He comes to your house to fix your furnace.
Yeah. Then we see him. Yeah, he comes to the house to fix the furnace. Then maybe we see him at the Jazz and Rib Fest cooking up with a big trophy in front of him, cooking up some ribs.
Cooking it up.
It's like, I mean, this.
But you take advantage of them if you get a chance, and I don't care who comes to the house to fix the furnace or whatever. If they give me the opening, I'm going in.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going in.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I've done it plenty of times, man. I'm a master at that. I'm a master at that.
Oh, this is the classic. One of the first things that we ever had go viral. I took this picture and turned it into a meme. Then I posted it as you, like, through the Brother Air fan page. And I had, like, that was like breathairmusic.com and arnoldehret.us on it. That was like the old school days. And that thing went viral. But people tried to take the websites off. They would crop the website off. But it was like, but the tagline said something like "soul food killing black people since 1620," something like that.
I remember that.
And it was just funny to me when I would catch it somewhere, and everybody's arguing, and soul food is great, and this and that, and it's our ancestry, and and all this kind of stuff. And I just sit there and laugh, like, yeah, y'all.
Me and Diane Reeves, great jazz singer, got into that one day. Got
Right.
into an argument. She's like, man, I just looked at her like, okay, lights out.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's
You know, like you said, so and what did you I mean, the censorship is at such a level. The soul food killed more black people than the Ku Klux Klan no longer lives on YouTube. They
yeah,
took that. They took that down.
I noticed.
They're like, oh, that's bullying, or that's not nice, and take that down.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like they've been. It's like no, it always felt like they've been waiting for years. They just been sitting there waiting for the opportunity to take that down. You know, or like they're like, oh,
They're
good.
gonna play the video. They're gonna play the video when it comes out. They're gonna play it. They're gonna make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
of that. So, we are waging war. You dig on madness and insaneness and psychopathisms and zombieism. We're waging war on it, man. We're saying, no, you ain't taking us out this easy.
Right.
You're not taking us out this easy. We're gonna, we're gonna get to all those folks who drink Kool-Aid. We're gonna get to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going back. We're going back down the alleys.
Yeah. Return. Right. The return to Ollie's trolley.
Would
You know.
would that be like with 20 years? 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years. The 20-year anniversary. Yeah, we should do
Return to
another documentary with the closing the health gap.
Oh,
Go back to, because that was all part of it. We did the Ollie's trolley, and then we went to the closing the health gap and just got all that footage.
and they barely still exist. It's still a closing the health gap, but they don't get none of the funding that they used to get. So
yeah,
it still exists. They had the at the health closing the health gap health fair. They had a cemetery plots. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because where they were, at a health fair, literally selling cemetery plots, the Spring Grove Cemetery.
Yeah,
this
is how sick we are. So yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. Like I say, we are really working the music now. We really getting ready to jump in the fifth gear with the art. I won't even just say music. Just say the artisans, man. We're getting ready to really put you to work.
Trying to build. Been building the foundation. Just been trying to really build this foundation to be able to create that platform to go out there and put the message, really put the message out there in a big way.
Knock them alive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go out there, knock them alive. Yeah.
So, and that's what we plan on doing, man. Yeah, man. So I'm happy. I'm happy and content, and
Yeah.
Life is about breath, man. As long as we can concentrate on breath and understanding that breath is everything.
Yeah.
The celebration of breath. That's going to be one of our festivals we put on, the Celebration of Breath Festival.
Yeah.
Where we
Yeah, I like that.
breathing, bro. Nothing can be better.
Yeah.
We say them to breathe. Nothing can be better. So, we got our priorities straight. We got our priorities straight.
Yeah. Like you say, he who hath breath hath everything.
Have everything. Everything. It can't be debated. It's it's the golden ticket. It's the wealth. It's like what more could you ask for? And for some reason we done got so much into material mythology that we think these things and baubles and things, but it's like breath is, man.
But I gotta get my Bugatti. Or the girls won't like me if I don't got my Bugatti. I gotta
Well,
get it.
you
I
know,
gotta get my Bugatti, and I gotta get a Cuban cigar and a Bugatti, or they won't like me.
yeah, okay. Well,
I mean, that's the level. That's where the consciousness is in the
the
mainstream, right
Bugatti
there.
truck following the hearse, you'll never see it.
Right.
You'll never see it. So let's let's try to really savor that breath, man. Breath is like like the biggest lottery ticket win you can have, when you really realize what you have, what you possess,
Yeah.
why it exists for you, why it exists for you, why it exists for you.
Yeah.
You can't get any better. It's like, man, this is like, you know. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So other than that, man, is anybody on there asking anything? Or we ready to? We
Now we
ready
got,
to?
well, I big up to Danny Michael. It hit us with the super chat and saying what's up.
Hey, what's up, Danny?
Yeah, he's been in the well, we had talked Wednesday. I jumped on the meetup
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday, and then he's in the book club, and
Okay.
I think he's been in Hawaii doing his thing.
Oh wow. Okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and stay, bro. I know he's down there just like really critiquing everything. Like, okay, what's the deal with the waves and the sand? Okay, is this really sand or is this dirt? Danny, man, my man, that's
Yeah.
a bad boy. So yeah, enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy yourself.
So yeah, and I think we probably it's about that time. We got in, was is almost 3.5 hours, almost about 3 hours 20 minutes. So that's a good average time for us.
Oh, okay.
Come on
Well,
here. So.
clean that ass. Clean that ass. Clean that ass. That's it. That can get you started.
Yeah. And and as soon as you think it's clean it again.
Clean it again. Yeah, clean that ass.
Because that's always, that's people are like, well, I'm clean. When we hear, we just laugh when we hear that. People are like, I'm clean. I eat pretty good. I eat pretty clean. As soon as you hear that, you already know
What I hear,
pretty clean.
what I hear is Diane Reed told me. She said that I don't have a problem with her bowels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, she looking like 2 tons of fun. And she's just so ignorant. Just but when you have people patting you on the back, oh, you can sing so
You
good.
can sing.
You
Yeah.
you got that grunt in your voice, baby.
Right. Right.
Literally. So yeah, man.
Oh,
So,
I got in my head that I'll be right here. You could be my husband and I'll be your wife.
oh yeah,
The old VHS.
VHS. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, pop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still looking for a husband too. She ain't found one yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
So life is beautiful. Good things is happening. Yeah, man. So give thanks for mucus-free life.
Yeah, Mucus-free life. Shout out to
man, and all the cats, all the the cats in the little inner circle of cats who are trying to put this thing together, man, and want to and plugging in.
yeah. I mean, it's
You know,
shout out to like Brady, man. He's been doing all kinds of work behind the scenes, and Reese, he's
yeah,
doing work behind the scenes.
yeah,
Doing work.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's them cats, man. They're inspired, man, because why? They're feeling better. You know, it's like we don't have to, do a sale, man. Or what I mean? It's like if you practice this thing and you start cleaning yourself up, you start feeling better. And it'll be them days that you won't feel as good as you thought you would feel, but they understand that because they read it and they say, "Oh, okay, this is what we're talking about." Then when they come back, they say, "Oh, it passed, and now I'm back." And they see that elimination is what it is. Eliminate just that elimination.
Right.
It's almost like a good thing. Like, wow, I'm sick. Like yes, like good.
Right.
So yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing that they are inspired and doing the work. Because you're not gonna get that kind of elevation and us talking about you unless we think you're doing the work.
Right.
Because we done put in some work and we love to see others and younger cats put in the work. And so these cats are doing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Yep.
all the cats, man, they're plugging in, man, in areas and they all are bringing different things to the table.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful part about it. That you can have all these things that you bring to the table because the table is wide. It's a chair waiting for you to pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
And come on, we are not turning you down. We're not turning you away. We're trying to build, man. We want that mucusless 5 miles. I'll take just 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
That area of 5 miles mucusless.
Yeah, like 5 square miles.
Yeah, we'll take that. Something to start up with. So
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah. So, all right.
Thanks for plugging this whole piece up today, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep it together, keep it going. It's time to really it's time for that phase. This would be like phase 4, it's time for the next phase. And we can taking this thing to the next level. And like I said, really appreciate everybody in the community that's been putting in work, that's been working on their physiology, been studying hard, been plugging in and creating that real community vibration, you know, which is transformative in itself.
That's what it is, man.
And so,
we don't need no folks shucking and jiving.
Yeah, it's about that, you know, that serious, you know, it's a serious work, serious lifestyle. This is about serious transformation. And so those of us that are awake enough to plug in, to see the value of what it is that we are doing and that we have a potential to do, it's a beautiful thing. And
Sister Decor is down in North Carolina, man, doing a life support piece for an elder. So hopefully she's listening. She said she was going to try to listen. So, you know, let's say a shout out to the mama.
Yeah.
You know, keep on healing and healing others around you, you know.
Yep.
They're moving more enema bags than anybody in the world.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They got that market.
Right.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. As always, it's been great to plug in, and you know, if you get nothing else out of this, go do an enema. Good lemon juice, distilled water enema, clean yourself out.
Good suggestion.
Yeah.
I just got a case for $20, man.
Nice. Yeah, so you've been doing those like custom cases.
Yeah, I done went, but yeah, that's just yeah. If there's anything to spend my money on, it's that.
Right.
You know, that's the way I kind of came at it again. Like, okay. So yeah, man, beautiful.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning in, like, sharing, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we didn't do the celebration, the 100K celebration, which we'll do later, as I had to wait so I get that plaque. We'll see. They were trying to stall me on that. So we gonna, but I think I'm gonna be able to get the plaque here soon. But yeah, now I appreciate everybody's support now over the years, and it's only going to get better, onward and upward. And until next time, peace, love, and breath. We are mucus-free. 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 We are mucus-free.